Well, it's that time of year, especially here in the United States, and I suspect probably throughout the world, where the Thanksgiving season is upon us. And, of course, everyone's already talking about Christmas, and Christmas has its place, but Thanksgiving, at least for me, has a really important, special place. It might actually be my favorite holiday all year. And I think part of the reason for that is getting the chance to eat some wonderful food. Yeah, I'm a foodie, love eating good food. And the family get togethers that I attend, everyone chips in and makes, their special dish, which is amazing. And then you get a chance to connect and reconnect with, some friends and family. So I love this time of year. I also love the time of year for the weather and, seasons change and all that sort of thing. But I think for whatever reason, it seems like in this country, especially, we have sort of de-emphasized, or maybe rather not put enough emphasis on Thanksgiving. I think there's way too much emphasis put on Christmas. And I think a lot of the emphasis that's put on Christmas has to do with commercial reasons, buying things for people. Folks, it's not really what this is about. Of course, we all know this, right? But while I'm thinking about it, I would be appreciative and grateful if you took a few moments and clicked that little thumbs up icon if you like this content, and want to remind you all to subscribe to the channel as well. And on this particular session, I wanted to talk a little bit more about gratitude, thankfulness, appreciation, and those sorts of things. And, again, time of year is great, but this is a thing, a practice. This is something, my opinion, is that each of us could do a much better job of doing on a daily basis. Being grateful, grateful that I get to drink this water, grateful that I have, a phone to be able to communicate with folks. Grateful that you all tuned in to this content today. So thank you for all of that. I am, as some of you may or may not know, I do some mental performance and mindset coaching, part of the Dream Fuel team. And I get to work with a few different clients. A lot of them are in the tech sector, if you will. But one person in particular, I just had a call with him earlier today. His name's Ethan. Ethan, if you happen to tune in and catch this, I appreciate you. You'll understand, if you're Ethan, what I'm talking about, and hopefully I'll explain a little bit more here in a few moments. But when I get to connect with Ethan, we talk. The type of conversation that we have is a little bit different. I mean, we talk about, I share some different tools and techniques from a mental performance and from a mindset perspective. But, I find those conversations with Ethan just so gratifying and rewarding, because we, take these topics to a deeper level. I mean, he's a great student, if you will. He applies a lot of the things that we speak about on our sessions. But frankly, Ethan had a lot of this figured out and was practicing a lot of these great mental performance and mindset practices way before I even talked to him. So good job, Ethan. Keep it up. But today we talked a little bit about gratitude and its importance and how to express gratitude. And I'm sure that I've covered this topic with you all before. So if you already saw that content, my apologies for being redundant. I suspect some of you maybe didn't see that. So hopefully this is new to you. And even if you did see it, I'm sure there's something I'm going to share today that's poignant and appropriate and good information or good thought-provoking words of wisdom, thoughts to share, whatever the case may be. But anyway, Ethan was expressing part of the Dream Fuel program. We have these exercises. It's kind of an e-learning platform, and the particular exercises that Ethan had completed recently were around gratitude. And one of them involved doing some gratitude journaling. And he and I have talked about this topic a time or two in the past. And my thought about gratitude is outwardly expressing gratitude, especially to those individuals, things, whatever we happen to be grateful for, to express that. If your loved one prepares a wonderful meal express gratitude for that. If a friend does something kind or thoughtful, express gratitude for that. And my thoughts about expressing that gratitude to the other person is to be as specific as you can. Don't just say, I'm grateful for you. Okay, that's a start. Don't miss here. Maybe that's a great place to start, but it's kind of vague, right? Um, Try to come up with some examples. Like, why are you grateful? Like, I'm grateful for you because I love the way you fold my socks, or I'm grateful for you because you always are kind and thoughtful with the activities that you play, or whatever the case may be. Just try to be specific, hone in on that when you express that gratitude to the other person. I think they will appreciate that a little bit more. And I'm going to talk about that word here in a moment as well, if you're very specific. Another great practice from a gratitude perspective that may be a little bit more general and a little bit more private is just taking a moment and just journal. You can write it down. When I journal, I prefer to type. It's just my thing, but get a little notepad and just spend a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, just journaling about all the things that you're grateful for. And, it's infinite, really it is. If you feel like you got a block and you can't think of anything else to be grateful for, just pause, look around your room. Surely there's something where you are in that moment that you're grateful for. And it can be trivial stuff like, I'm grateful for this guitar pick. Just get the great gratitude juices flowing. And these two, they're kind of two different perspectives or two different approaches or exercises, if you will, with respect to gratitude. One is actually conveying it to the person specifically about the thing that you're grateful for. That's a one-on-one interaction, or it could be a group, I suppose, too. The other is a little bit more private, where you're journaling and expressing the things that you're grateful for. Both are fantastic for the soul. Both do wonders for how you feel. I don't want you to wait until you're having a down moment in life, but if you are stuck or having, a bad moment or dealing with some BS that you'd rather not deal with, and your mind is maybe in a funky spot, one way to get your mind out of that funky spot and to start feeling good again, start feeling some of that good stuff like the dopamine and the serotonin that our bodies are very, very capable of producing, is to do some sort of gratitude practice. You want to change your attitude, you want to improve your attitude, start by expressing your gratitude. I should put that on a t-shirt. I should sell that. If you want one, send me a comment, let me know. But now I want to shift a little bit. I want to talk about the word appreciation. I guess a question that I'm going to pose to you, and I'd love to hear your feedback and your comments. So type those in and send them to me. How are gratitude and appreciation the same? How are they different? Are they really just synonyms with one another? I've thought a little bit about this, and I've done a little bit of digging on it, and I'll probably contemplate on it further. When I chatted with Ethan earlier, I actually brought the question up to him, and we had, a little bit of a conversation about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it here again the next couple of weeks. But the conclusion that I've come to recently, and this is sort of a self-drawn conclusion, and I'll try to corroborate that with some quote facts here in a few minutes, but I feel like gratitude is, one level. I feel like appreciation is a whole different level. I feel like appreciation is a deeper, heartfelt, has more deeper, heartfelt meanings to it, if you will. And I'm trying to support this with some facts. Like I said, I look up gratitude in the dictionary, and it just says the act of being grateful, which is, not super helpful. So we'll look up the word grateful. Bear with me as I'm trying to pull this up. But grateful means appreciative of benefits received. Okay. It's kind of vague, but we can roll with it for a moment. Whereas appreciation is a feeling of expression of admiration, approval, gratitude. So here's the confusing part a little bit for me, is that each appreciation and gratitude, each of them uses the other in defining the word. So, from that, per Merriam-Webster dictionary, maybe gratitude and appreciation are really two words to say the same thing. But I still feel like it's something a little bit different. So I decided to, and this came from Ethan, a good suggestion is to kind of look into the word origin of each. And when I look at the word origin for the word gratitude, it has a root in Latin, medieval Latin, Old French, and then the word gratitude is from late Middle English, again from Old French or medieval Latin, gratitudo, which means pleasing and thankful. Again, you can fact check me here. I'm not a word origin scientist by any stretch of the imagination. Contrastly, when I look at appreciation, comes from late Latin and French, and so late 15th century from French appreciation. I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation. And from late Latin, appreciato, and from the verb appreciatere, set at a price, appraise. And then this brings me to, a little bit more digging that I looked into each of these words. Gratitude, has more of a goodwill, a thankfulness, a pleasing, connotation to it. Whereas appreciation is the act of estimating quality and worth of something. So like thinking about getting an appraised value on a home or a car or something like that. So it's a rise in value, a high estimation. So again, maybe I'm really splitting hairs, or maybe it's semantics, maybe it doesn't matter. But I try to express gratitude, but then also appreciation. And to me, when I'm expressing the feelings that I feel when I'm expressing appreciation are to me much deeper, I guess, than just gratitude. I think both are very much in the same vein with one another, and both are invaluable to helping and improving upon my own mental performance and my own mindset. So anyway, I'm curious, what are your thoughts? What do you think about gratitude? What do you think about appreciation? And while I'm leaving you today, happy Thanksgiving, and hope the rest of the year goes amazingly well.